Download the BCSN Plus app today. Visit bcsnnation.com for details.
Less than 2 weeks away from the Italian Bowl, numero uno della semifinal, Firenze hosting Leiano. Frogs jump out early, ribbit. Luke Zaradka shakes loose, finds Nicole Polsonelli. Zaradka doubling the lead with his legs. Guelfi, though, before the end of the half, they get on the board. Andrea Fimiani, the dart, the Frankie Stola. It's 14-7 at the break. Firenze with all of the momentum, starting off the second half with a bang. Fimiani, a hole, scampers all the way to knot this one up. The best team in the regular season rolling. Legnano looking for an answer, but the former Frog, now Guelfi, Easton Salam, the interception. He's going the other way. The pick six. Firenze adds a couple more scores, and they put this one away 35-23. Firenze heading back to Toledo. Mason Lowry, Nick Guy, join us with more.
Well, you know, guys, in a game like this, and at this point of the season, teams' depth is always tested. Case in point, Firenze Guelfi lost a couple of their starting defensive backs due to injury in this game. Up steps Andrea Costanzi, whom we haven't talked about all season long, comes up with a huge interception late in that second quarter, and that really turned the tide of this football game.
Yeah, it did. At that point, they're down 14-0. It was truly next man up, and in this case, the next man up makes that turnover that really changed the whole complexion of this game.
It was really interesting for us to watch this Guelfi team playing with their backs against the wall. Really, for the first time this year, they had run almost unopposed through Group B, averaged 50 points per ball game here. They're in that early 14-point hole, and once they got behind, Andrea Fimiani was at his best, especially on the ground. He turned it over 3 times in the first half, scored 3 touchdowns in the second half.
Yeah, really came out in the second half, used both his legs, threw some nice passes down the field, and took over that game in the second half.
I think the thing that would maybe really worry the Guelfi coaching staff is just how sloppy this game was, really on all fronts. There were 9 total turnovers in this game, if you can believe it. But as we have seen throughout the years, this Guelfi team offensively is always talented enough that papers over a lot of cracks. The question is, will that paper over enough cracks in the Italian Bowl?
Yeah, that's going to be tough to see, because in years past, we've seen the turnovers be a big problem for them, and also the penalties. And Mason, they had their fair share of penalties today, and yet they overcame them and won the football game still.
Yeah, they've been the most penalized team in the IFL the last couple of years, but it hasn't mattered much because they have still punched their ticket to Toledo with a comeback win over the Frogs. Back to you.